Thank you. Yeah, you can take it. Here.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Ball State Esports Center today.
Thank you for joining us on Valentine's Day.
I am one of your casters, Aiden Inman, aka Monic.
I'm Robert Harrison, aka Transfixed.
And thank you for joining us here today to watch our League of Legends match versus Central Michigan University. But before we get into that, let's talk about what happened last week. So on, I believe, Wednesday of last week, I'm trying to remember what team we played, but we had a decisive victory against who we played on last Wednesday.
Very strong victory.
Very strong victory. Quick 2-0, team stomped, just very similarly to how they have our other games. Oh, it's Eastern Michigan University. They had a very good game, quick 2-0. And then Saturday, we did have a forfeit. Some of you may have joined in for that half-hour stream where we just kind of babbled for a while.
Yeah, the caster special.
The caster special. Thank you for anyone that sat there and just listened to us blab on for quite a while. But yeah, that was Saturday. But today, we're against Central Michigan University. And let's look at our Ball State lineup for this match. So today we have Orm in the top lane. Now Orm is a sub that we saw play. I think he was supposed to play in the Saturday match, but he didn't get to. So they're giving him another shot today. He is from one of our other teams. We've got Boatlick in the jungle, Wombat Baby in the mid lane, Chumslog in the ADC role, and Quokka as our support. So a pretty standard comp or lineup. Orm is really the only difference here.
Well, I'm happy to see Chumslog back, actually.
Yeah, it's been like what, 3 or 4 games since we've seen him?
Something like that, since he played Tristana.
Yeah, since he, like, from what I've been being told, broke the kill record for a single character.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It's just Chumslog.
I think he dropped, I think it was like 23 kills. It's the kill record for Collegiate. I think there's been higher in Pro, but still, that's ridiculous.
Hopefully he can pull something off like that again today, too.
Oh, yeah, I'm expecting to see it again. Let's see him pull out the Tristana. Callista hasn't gotten nerfed yet, so we could pull out the Callista and do some crazy stuff with that.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Well, let's see how Eastern Michigan fares against...
Or Central Michigan.
Central Michigan fares compared to Eastern.
And let's look at our Central Michigan lineup. Just 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. We've got Crusading Dino up in the top lane.
Velmus Dump Truck in the jungle.
Defaults 01 in the mid lane.
We have Ari in the bot lane.
And Gray Swag in the support role. They have some very interesting names.
Do we want to point it out?
I think we just let it be.
Just letting it be.
Yeah, I think you guys know what we're talking about when we say, do we point it out? We got Velma in the mid lane. And can Velma compete with Wombat Baby?
Velma is in the jungle, as a matter of fact. Default 01 is in the mid lane.
Oh, my mistake. I just saw it and
you got too locked in on one certain word.
Yeah.
League players are very creative when it comes to making names, if you couldn't tell.
For those of you who don't know what League of Legends is, we will give you a brief summary, and at the same time, we're going to play you a little video in the background that's kind of showing off some new season things. It's a video made by Riot themselves. Just wait till that comes up. So yeah, so League of Legends is a game that has primarily 3 lanes. There's a top lane, a mid lane, and a bot lane. And then there's a jungle in between those lanes. And so in those roles, there's a top laner who plays in the top lane, a mid laner, and 2 bot laners. There's the ADC, who they kind of do all the damage and they're a ranged character, and there's a support, who their job is just to support that ADC. The main goal of the game is to push these towers that you're seeing on your screen right now. These towers will shoot at any enemies that get too close to them, but you want to destroy those so that you can push further into the enemy base. And once you get all the way into their base, you can destroy their nexus, and that's how you win the game. You just want to destroy their nexus. In order to do that, you have gold. You have gold that you get from killing players, capturing objectives that are on the map, and killing these little minions. And one of these objectives is actually the Void Grubs, which you're seeing right now. These Void Grubs are an early objective that spawns. If you take those, they give your team bonus damage to towers, so you can take them faster. Also, when you destroy towers, you get gold. And all the other ways I mentioned of getting gold, you spend that gold on items that kind of make your character stronger. They'll make you do more damage, maybe make you move faster, attack faster, various different things. And the items really just make it easier for you to push through the base and finally destroy that nexus.
The complexity of League of Legends comes in when it comes to gold efficiency, understanding your characters and their matchups, and just overall game micro and macro. Micro is the mechanics of the player when it comes to being in lane and understanding how to manage your wave, and then macro is how you position yourself across the entire map when it comes to how the enemy is placed and how the rest of your teammates are placed.
And yeah, overall, we're giving a really, really brief summary of this game. It's super complicated. These players probably, a lot of them I'd imagine, have close to 10 years experience playing this game. There's a lot of just intricate, in-depth mechanics and knowledge that you have that a lot of other games they don't have nearly that much info that you have to learn just to be able to play a game. So yeah, and these are really just a bunch of changes here right now that you're seeing. There's a new Baron is an objective that spawns. Whenever you take that, it's in competitive play, you kind of win the game if you take Baron. It makes pushing towers much easier. It spawns at 20 minutes in the game. This is showcasing that it looks different this season. It used to not look quite as creepy and cool.
On top of having different variations of terrain that can spawn around him.
Yeah, and the terrain just kind of changes up how the fights play out. It doesn't, other than having a wall in your way, there's not much variation. The buffs are all different. These are blue jungle camps that spawn in the jungle. That's how the jungler gets money, because they don't have minions walking up to them that laners do. And yeah, this just for anyone who does know League, this is a quick video of just some of the changes. You'll notice that those buffs look different than they used to. They give some new effects that we don't really need to go into because it's kind of confusing if you don't know the game. And that is League of Legends. And there's lots of new items that you're seeing right at the end right there. That's probably the biggest change, I'd imagine.
The removal of mythics.
Yes, there used to be mythic items, which you could only buy one of a game, and you kind of had to buy them either first or second item, and they were just way stronger than the other items. They removed those, so now you can build whatever you want first. Every item is kind of even power now. So there's lots more variation in builds. There's not just everyone has to build this mythic item and then kind of follow a standard item build path. There's 100. I think there's 100. There's probably over 100 items
around
in the game.
there.
There's a lot of items in the game. It takes a lot of messing around and just game knowledge to learn exactly what all they do and how they interact with each other. But once you do know that, there's lots of different build paths for those items. You can mix and match them in different ways to get different outcomes.
But that's League of Legends.
Yeah, that's League of Legends. Now, let's show some of the other matches that are going on just around the ESC here. So tonight we've got all these matches. We got Eastern Michigan versus Ohio, Akron versus Bowling Green, Northern Illinois versus Toledo, Western Michigan versus Kent State, Buffalo versus Northern Kentucky, and the Northeastern Huskies versus Miami University. So if you want to check any of those out, I know some of them are streaming. We caught an Eastern Michigan stream last week that was pretty entertaining to watch. So feel free to check out them and the other schools. Just leave us open. We want the viewers. And I'd argue we have the better production going on here.
We are your favorites, after all.
So at the very least, keep us open in a tab. We'd love to have some viewership. And yeah, so right now we're just waiting to get into draft. And I guess we can explain what draft is.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, it depends on the side you play, blue or red. Which side's picks first? I think
blue picks first, typically.
Blue. Well, that also changes how you draft. Okay, let's get into drafting. The first round of drafting is both teams ban 3 champions. It's like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yep.
And then so blue side in this case would pick 1, then red would pick 2. And then blue side would pick 2, and then red would pick 1, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how it works. The complexity here comes in responding to certain characters that you see picked. So, like, if you see a support bot lane pick on red side after you pick first on blue side, you might respond and pick something that cancels out that lane, or you could flex pick, and this is especially prominent in pro play. Flex picking is whenever you pick a champion that can play in multiple roles. So, for example, Karma can play in mid or support. Morgana can
Or
play
top
jungle,
sometimes.
support, mid. Things like that. Champions are inherently more valuable in pro play whenever they can be played in multiple roles because it allows the teams to be more creative with how they respond to the other team's picks.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we didn't mention this in our summary. There are over 160 characters. We might be nearing 170 characters in the game now. So there's lots of different variation of team comps. And really, a simple explanation is the teams are just trying to counterpick each other because some characters are better than others. So they want to get the best team comp that counters the enemy team comp. And that's why a lot of times some games, like, people kind of call them over in draft. If you end up with a better draft and you have like evenly matched teams, that team with the better draft just kind of wins a lot of the time.
It can also come down to how they draft around team fighting, or if they draft around OPJs, or just general skirmishes. So, like, Nocturne, for example, is really good at getting in, locking down an enemy. If there's someone that can respond fast, like an Akali or something like that, that's a pretty good comp. That's a good scenario to have a jungle mid synergy.
Yeah, or you could have teams like completely centered around your ADC. So I kind of mentioned earlier, the ADC in the bot lane is typically a ranged character, and they scale really hard. So the later the game goes, they're going to be putting out a lot more damage than most other characters in the game, and very consistent damage. So you'll see team comps drafted around purely just keeping that character alive. They'll have a tank that can stand in front of them and tank damage. They'll have a support that can throw shields on them. They'll have other characters that can, like, knock up the enemy if the enemy tries to get too close, so they're knocked up in the air and can't move for a couple seconds. They'll just try to defend that. And that's just an example of one team comp. There's so many examples of different team comps that can be ran, especially with our Ball State team here.
The versatility on our team is actually something to be admired, as a matter of fact. When we last had Chumslog for our interview, he talked about how he wouldn't like to play Varus anymore and that there's so many other champions he could play. I think the fact that he's able to do something like that, and especially how he demonstrated with Tristana, because that wasn't Varus.
Yeah.
How he demonstrated with Tristana, I think that is a really good testament to what Ball State is able to provide when it comes to a drafting phase.
And then we have pretty much all of our players can play very, like, hyper aggressive carry champions. So typically on a competitive team, you'll see like 1 or 2 players that play a carry character that can output all the damage and kind of win the game for their team. And then the other players are like, they're good players, but they're kind of just there to, like, back those guys up. We have 5 good players. Like, even when we have our subs in, our subs are that good too. So they all kind of like to pick carry champions. Even our support likes to pick carry champions.
With Pyke, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen Pyke. We've also seen a Wukong from our support.
Camille.
Yeah, Camille. Just lots of carry champions. So any member of Ball State's team here can really have a team composition just drafted around them to be the carry. So it gives us lots of versatility with our drafts.
What do you expect to see today?
Seeing that we have Chumslog back, I don't think we're going to see Varus. I feel like he's up there yelling, no, I don't want to play Varus. He finds it pretty boring. So I would personally like to see the Kalista, just because she's getting nerfed in the coming patch.
Kalista Renata?
I'd love to see Kalista Renata, or Kalista anything. Just give us like a damage. Give us Kalista Senna maybe. Just something to poke out the enemy, cause problems. But we might just see the Tristana again. I mean, dude dropped 23 kills in one game.
He might want to run it back.
The Tristana might just be his pick. In the top lane,
hopefully we see some Ornn.
Yeah, I know Orm likes to play the champion Ornn. Well, he tells us that the name is not related to the champion.
I doubt that.
I don't believe him.
I think it's more than mere coincidence.
And in the mid lane, I think we just pull out the Ahri again. Or
you don't want to see 80 Twisted Fate?
I want to see 80 Twisted Fate, but I feel like they're going to ban it. Every team's been banning it out. We haven't. I think we got to see it one game maybe.
Something like that.
It's just been banned every game, and I feel like that's probably going to continue. But before we do get into draft, let's look at some season standings for the teams in our esports league. We've got Ball State, Northeastern, Buffalo, and Kent State all up at 5-0. those are the matches that I am very much looking forward to. We haven't seen some very competitive games yet this season. I really want to see us against those other 5-0 teams. Then we got Miami and Akron sitting at 4-1. Two pretty good teams. I'm trying to think. We haven't faced Akron yet. We faced Ohio University. I'd love to play Akron. They're kind of our rivals and everything. So I don't know how their league team is. Love to see that. Then we've got Northern Kentucky at 3-2, Western Michigan at 2-3, Northern Illinois and Ohio at 1-4, and Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Bowling Green, and Toledo at 0-5. And I will give some props to Bowling Green. One of those matches is a forfeit that they couldn't really avoid. So they might be a better team than that 0-5. Just give them some props. And those are the season standings right now. Very much looking forward to the Northeastern U Buffalo and Kent State games. And yeah.
Now we're just waiting for draft.
Just waiting for draft. Pretty story as old as time at this point. Just seems to take a while to get into draft all the time.
Wednesday was draft, as a matter of fact. Or not Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday we...
The caster special.
The caster
we talked
special.
about a draft that didn't exist.
We were great. We predicted such an amazing draft that
Yeah, it was over within like 0 seconds.
we pretty much put a full-time job into just being analysts and predicting what possibly could happen, just for it to not happen.
If chat liked it enough, we'll make it a podcast.
Of just us talking about games that aren't going to happen. But I'm trying to think, what role... We haven't talked about the jungle very much.
Hopefully some Nidalee comes out.
Yes, exactly what I was going to say. I hope to see the Nidalee. Nidalee was buffed on this patch, and even before the buffs, we have seen our jungler just dominate in that jungle position as Nidalee. So I would love to see what he can do with buffs. Nidalee's a little tankier, heals a lot more, so Nidalee's kind of can take more damage, be slightly more of a front line, although you don't really want a front line with Nidalee. And also can heal teammates. So it was more of a supportive pick for the ADC, which I feel like would make her more viable in a competitive environment.
You think so?
I think it gives her more utility. She's not just all about being an invade damage character.
Well, we'll see what happens with draft.
Yeah, whatever that comes up.
But no, I haven't touched League in a while. You know, it happens.
Yeah, you haven't been playing League too much lately?
No, I have too much homework.
Yes, I've probably been a little too much of the opposite. I put the homework to the side and play League. Purely because I'm practicing so that I have the knowledge for this, not because I'm an addict.
Of course. That's what they all say. That's what they all say. I told myself I'd stop around 4 times. I never did.
No, I think that's something almost every League player goes through. You know, sometimes the game it gets to your head a little bit. You know,
Does it? Are you self-testifying?
I am. Or maybe it doesn't to you. It's, as we've said, the game is very deep, very intricate. So you know, you sit there, you put a lot of time in just thinking about the game, just thinking about what items to build, what characters are good in what situations, what route you should move throughout the map. Like there's so much you think about, and then you go in and things go wrong and you lose. And, you know, it hurts the mental up here a little bit. But while we're waiting for draft, let's cut to commercial for a little bit, and we will be back.
The quest for knowledge and a greater understanding is a lifelong pursuit. An ascent towards a fulfilling career and a meaningful life. As Ball State Cardinals, we learned early on that it's our responsibility to prepare and to prepare you for anything. Beneficence stands tall as a symbol of enduring values that have sustained us for more than a century. Forged during a turbulent time, the Great Depression, and from the contributions of more than 11,000 people, Beneficence inspires us. What we know about adversity is that we do not choose the time, but we do choose the response with grit, creativity, and dedication. Where tradition meets innovation, we form an enduring partnership, a formidable alliance with a deep desire to learn, to teach, to grow, to thrive, to fly. The values of Ball State University embody a wealth of opportunity, a powerful bond among faculty, staff, students, and alumni, and a bright future that includes you. Our intellect and experiences fuel our purpose and our capacity to serve our neighbors. Your journey begins now. We will remember this time for the opportunities we seized, the discoveries we made, and the lives we transformed. At Ball State University, with beneficence as our guide, we fly.
And we're back. So you may notice there's quite a few more people behind us than there typically are. For any Ball State students or prospective students, these are our club teams. You don't have to be the top of the leaderboard, Challenger Tier League of Legends or Radiant player, Valorant player to play esports here at Ball State. You can come in and play on one of our mini club teams. I think this is 3 separate club teams playing Valorant games right now. We have these running all the time for pretty much any game that we have enough players to play. So I think we have a Super Smash Bros. Team going on right now.
We do.
I know we've had our Siege team before. I don't think we have one right now. I'm trying to think, do we have a Rocket League team? I think we might have a Club Rocket League team right now. But we have lots of club teams, so we do not have a Rocket League team right now. We have before, not right now. If you have some friends or yourself that want to come play some games, try to put together a team. You can play in many different leagues that we have that, honestly, it's the same leagues that our varsity players are playing in. It's just, lower level players, more of a casual environment, more meant for fun than trying to, get really sweaty and trying to win a tournament or make a lot of money.
Put your entire life behind it.
Yeah, you don't have to put your life into the game for these. It's just for fun. And at the same time, if you are interested in more of the varsity level thing, let's say you're not the highest rank, we do have 3 varsity teams for every game that we have. So that's Overwatch, League of Legends, Rocket League, and Valorant. So they have 3 varsity teams. Then we also have an academy team. And each tier kind of goes down in rank. So if you want to compete and maybe get better to go up to one of those higher level teams, give it a try. Come on. We have tryouts every semester for all those games. Come on down, try out some games.
It doesn't hurt just to come and see what's up,
No, I can give you my story. I came down here wanting to be on our League of Legends team. I walked in, heard the ranks of some of our players, and was like, never mind, I'm not quite good enough to be on our League of Legends team. However, that's when I learned about casting, and I'm like, I know a lot about the game. I can cast League of Legends. So I became a caster for Ball State, and that's how I got here. So yeah, I mean, if you're interested in esports in any way, I'm sure there is something here at Ball State Esports that would be interesting to you, that you could find that you would enjoy to do.
With me, I know a lot about League. I've spent way too much time thinking about League of Legends. I figured it'd be a waste not to put that knowledge to use. Therefore, I'm casting now.
Yeah, I mean, that's partially what I was thinking too. You don't want to make you put a ton of time into a game, you want to make something out of it.
Precisely. Actually.
Yeah. And outside of that, yeah, I guess we're just waiting for draft to start still. Having a bit of difficulties getting the lobby set up. It'll happen. I don't believe there's going to be another forfeit or anything tonight. So just stay tuned and it'll happen eventually.
You want a random League of Legends question?
Yeah, we can do some quizzes up here.
Who has the highest base AD in the video game?
Oh, I feel like I just learned that yesterday.
I've told you before.
You have? Okay. Isn't it Pike or somebody?
Smolder.
Oh, Smolder, the brand new character to the game.
Pretty sure he has the highest AD in the game. Base AD.
That's crazy to me because Smolder's known as being terrible in the early game and then scaling really good.
You have not played against a Smolder that started W level 1?
No, I know that build. It just hasn't seemed very good.
Oh, it's amazing.
I haven't seen anyone actually play it well. But he is a new character. Some people are just really bad at picking up new characters. So.
Well, just for you, we're gonna have someone come up here and talk about Overwatch.
I think they're talking about Valorant, or was it Overwatch?
I was told Overwatch.
Oh, Overwatch. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna bring on a guest over here. He's gonna talk to us a little bit about Overwatch and just what's going on, probably with the game itself, because I know there's been lots of big changes in Overwatch, but also probably stuff about our Ball State team, which we do have Overwatch going on this season. So if you ever want to check out Overwatch, they stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe. So you can tune in at 8 o'clock the same time to see some Overwatch. And our team in Overwatch, as far as I know, is just as good as our League of Legends team. It's a very highly competitive team, very good. And yeah, we're just lots of
He's to your right.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, let's make sure that mic's turned on.
Pretty sure I said this last time. It's always so weird sitting on this end of it.
Oh yeah, I haven't done it yet. I'm not looking for. Oh no, I have done
for
it
NHL.
It's super strange. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, this is Austin, one of our casters for. Do you just do Overwatch or is it Rocket League too?
Yeah, I did Rocket League. I did Overwatch. I'm going to be doing Call of Duty this Thursday for
Oh,
our
wow.
stream. So tomorrow, Call of Duty. Don't know who I'm doing it with, but it's always a good, fun stream. So our Call of Duty team is pretty stellar. So
Yeah,
should
you're
be another
you're
win.
doing it with our assistant VD Trinity actually. I believe it'll be her first time casting. So tune in, give her some love tomorrow, guys.
Well, I think we're supposed to be talking about Overwatch, though.
We are supposed to
Isn't
be
that
talking
true?
about Overwatch.
Tell us about Overwatch.
I mean, what do you want to know about Overwatch?
So I was sitting in here working my job that I do before these
you're
streams.
9 to 5. You're a little.
My
you're
9
in
to
here
5.
grinding.
And I heard some choking up here on the caster desk, like actual just like visceral like coughing, like. And then I look over and I see the new hitboxes going on in Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Just give them some information about the new hitboxes in Overwatch.
How do you feel about it?
Well, I hate it. It's terrible. It's one of the worst things that ever happened to the game besides making a second one. But so the entire this is just crazy because they announced the update patches months in advance because it was for the new season, season 9. They announced it months in advance and everyone hated it. Not a single person liked it.
Yeah.
And they still thought it'd be a great idea to go ahead with the same exact patch notes. So not only are the hitboxes absolutely screwed up, every hero now has 50 more health, besides Roadhog, who got 100 more health.
Why?
Who now has 800 health.
Doesn't he have damage reduction?
He has damage reduction, and he can heal himself. Even better.
Wait, can't everyone heal themselves now?
Even better, everyone can heal themselves now. After 5 seconds, if you don't take any damage, you go ahead and get a passive self-heal, which only support had to begin with. So, yeah.
Okay, well, real quick, we are about to jump into draft. I do want to ask you, how's our Overwatch team doing? I know you have more knowledge on that than we do.
Our Overwatch team is doing really good. I actually believe I am staying out here for the draft. You guys are going to explain to me what these picks are.
So we've already got some bans going on. They have banned away our Nidalee, our Varus, and our Tristana. So the 3 picks that we talked about maybe seeing today, all banned out.
We have a Karmas and a Silas on Ball State's side. That is probably a Karmas and a bot lane with the Silas pick.
Okay, so I'll explain the Silas pick. So Silas's ultimate is he can steal other champions' ultimates.
Gotcha.
And on the other team, they have an Amumu and a Pantheon. Now, Amumu's ultimate just stuns everyone around him in a massive circle. So stealing that is very useful.
Gotcha.
Pantheon, his ultimate is he essentially dashes to like, he can dash like half the map's length, like far away, or he like jumps in the air, then dives down there. But so if Silas takes that ultimate, he can pretty much travel to anywhere on the map he wants to really quickly.
So typically, I know a lot of games that have bans as an integral part. A lot of, are they champions here? Is it champ select?
Champions, yeah.
So a lot of games that have bans built into it, there are a lot of champs in this case. Well, I guess I'll rephrase it. Are there a lot of champs that just always get banned no matter what? Like, it doesn't matter what the meta is, they're always just hard gone?
So in pro play, there definitely is. And here, we've kind of been seeing more targeted bans at the players. Like, the teams clearly scout out and see what our players are good at and ban those. I will say Maokai, who's the tree guy, who's the first ban that Ball State banned. Oh my gosh, I'm getting some feedback right now.
Yeah, I'm getting that too.
Okay, I'm going to take that off a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. So Maokai right there is just disgustingly strong right now. I think we'll probably see him banned every single game. He's a support, and he just makes it to where nobody can move ever. What is going on over here? Okay. I
Okay,
don't have any
well.
feedback. I can hear now.
Just don't move.
Where I say it is on.
Yeah, you just need to bring
Oh
it
wait,
closer.
I have to bring it closer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We can hear you. So we can talk about the comps a little bit. So the support right here, I'll try to point at it right here. This is Senna. That's going to be our support. Now Karma over here is typically a support, but she's a flex pick, like what Robert was talking about earlier.
Senna's also a flex pick. She can flex pick 80 carry. So
Yeah.
we're probably going to see a Karma support with a Senna 80 carry.
Oh, you're
it
right.
will be a Silas jungle by the looks of it.
So
wait, what?
with a flex pick, is it pretty much someone that you can pick and put in any lane or in the jungle, and they'll
Not
suffice?
necessarily any lane, but they can play in multiple.
They could play
Gotcha.
2 to 3 roles.
Gotcha. So that's kind of like your carry, per se.
It can be
more,
a carry. It can
it's
be a
more about
support.
versatility.
Gotcha.
It's because, so let's say they thought Karma over here was the support. She could, they'll counterpick the Karma. But then we'll be like, never mind, Karma can also play mid, so we put her mid lane and they didn't get to counterpick her.
Gotcha.
So that's why flexes are really good. I'm very interested. We have Silas jungle here. So Silas he can jungle. I actually used to play a ton of Silas jungle myself. But he is typically a mid laner or sometimes a top laner. You don't see him in the jungle too often. He's pretty hard to pull off. So I'm very excited to see that our jungler play him here.
Orm is on the Orn. I'm excited to see how that plays out in the top lane.
I'm trying to decide which comp I like better here. That is a Pantheon support, which I at least I think it's support.
If I'm being honest, I think Central Michigan might have a better comp here.
The thing is, I think Pantheon support's terrible.
Well, it's not necessarily about the Pantheon support. It's more about the Amumu and the Lysandre's ability to CC or crowd control.
So Central Michigan has definitely just a high crowd control team comp. Lysandra can just press ultimate on someone and it just stuns them in place. She point and click, they're stunned in place for a while, or she can do it to herself to like defend herself and heal herself for a little bit. But she'll typically use it on someone else. Amumu, who we talked about, his ultimate stuns everyone around him, and then he also has another stun just built into his basic abilities. So
it's on that Gwen and Misfortune. If that Gwen can get her damage off, she's one of the most insane characters in the game. If that Gwen can get her damage off and that Misfortune get her damage off, there's really not a lot of contest.
yeah, it seems like their game plan is stun as many members of Ball State as they possibly can, and then Misfortune or Gwen will press their R buttons and just they do a lot of AoE, just try to melt everybody in front of them, basically.
If Ball State can make it through like early game, I do think they would be winning.
Yeah.
It's more on that Silas and that Senna pick and allowing them to scale.
Which is that this is abnormal for our opponents for Ball State. Typically, we see our opponents pick like late game scaling comps, and Ball State picks the very aggressive early game team comp. This is, I think, their first time where someone's really trying to compete in the early game against them.
Especially with that Ornn pick. Ornn can put out damage, but it takes a second. He needs his level 6 really to solo kill in lane.
I was about to say, typically, I play games like League. I don't play League exactly, but I play League adjacent games, same genre.
Yeah.
And typically when I play, I don't play for early game. I play for that late game. I typically tend towards a lot more, they're called Guardians and Warriors and Smite, but it's basically your tanks and your attack speed tanks per se.
Okay, so that'd be like
a
a Juggernaut, I guess, kind of.
yeah. So like it has the ability to have health, but it also it's kind of I play it like a Swiss Army knife. So like it's very adaptable. Like it can be very tanky, or you can also build it very very attack speed heavy.
Yeah, so that'd be Bruisers in League of Legends. Bruisers / Juggernauts. They're kind of a overlapping
Yeah,
type of character.
That's kind of how the Guardians and Warriors are in Smite as well. And so I was just trying to. I didn't learn what the symbols were until I was back there actually looking at the graphics earlier. Because since I've been playing so much Smite here recently, like I've actually been starting to not actively try and play League, but pick up on stuff. And so that was actually like one of the first things I was like, oh my god, like that's actually bottom lane in the symbol for bot lane.
Yeah, I guess we should point that out to people. I never thought about that. Just point out like how the symbols show where the roles are. That might help.
And support, if you know this, support's icon is technically a ward because their item allows them to place wards once it upgrades. So they're typically the ones that establish vision for the team.
Yeah, so
or
wards
get rid of
do the
vision
same
for
thing in
enemy team.
this as they do in Smite, correct?
Exactly.
Like where
Yeah,
you put it down and anyone that gets near it, you can, like it pings you and it tells you if they get near it.
In
or...
this, it just shows them on the mini map if someone steps near them.
If you use a
Gotcha.
blue ward, it pings.
Oh yeah, a blue ward does ping. There's different types of wards in the game.
Gotcha.
We actually haven't ever talked about wards before on here. I don't think.
A far sight alteration. That's the blue ward.
But yeah, so we will mention wards every once in a while. Wards are an item that every character has. There's different kinds of them. There's some that are meant to. Oh, we're actually jumping into game right now, but I can keep talking about that. Whenever you put a ward down, it gives you vision, so you don't have to be standing there to see what's going on over there. It just gives you vision of anyone who's standing next to it. And a lot of the game in like highly competitive play is just like vision control, having control of the map. I don't know. Are you sticking around for the game or?
I was not supposed to stick around for the game. So
Okay, we're safe.
I will probably resume my duties in the back.
Okay. Well, thank you for talking with us.
Thank you for joining.
And here we are in game. I am excited for. Oh, and a pause.
I love
right
pauses.
off the bat.
I love watching the video game.
This is the League of Legends Classic. This happens even in pro play. So they'll start the game and then a player's mouse will die or something like that. I don't know why this pause is happening, but I'm sure we'll be back momentarily. And here we are already.
I'm actually curious as to how this top lane is going to play out because Gwen into an Ornn is typically considered a counter matchup.
So we're seeing some freezing. That might be why the pause happened earlier.
It might be client side.
Well, while we work out that, we're back to us right
You're just
here.
happy to see us, aren't you?
So I'm going to keep talking about this Sylas because I love Sylas jungle, but it's a very hard pick to pull off.
You can finish the wards.
Oh, I guess I could finish the wards. So wards, as I said, you place them down, they give you vision. Now there's regular wards that everyone starts with. It's just called like a vision ward, I guess. I don't know. We call it a yellow ward. There's wards, and though they disappear after amount of time, there's red wards that you can put down that stay there forever until someone destroys them. There's farsight wards, which you can place really far away from yourself. And there's sweeper wards, which reveal wards if you step on them. Because wards are hidden unless you have something that reveals them. So sweeper will reveal wards that you can destroy and take vision away from the other team. And right, this bot lane is going to be the one to watch here in the, at the start of the game. They're two very pokey lanes. They both want to try to get early kills. However, Ball State's scales quite a bit better in my opinion.
It's actually a Karma APC, technically. There's no support item on that Karma.
Oh, so we're seeing Starving Senna here. It's a strategy that only she can do. Senna kind of plays like an ADC, which is an attack damage carry. She does lots of damage. However, she doesn't need kills or really gold from minions to scale like that.
It's because her souls technically give her gold. And
Yeah.
the souls spawn when a teammate farms the wave. And she also gets souls whenever she pokes an enemy with 2 auto attacks or an auto attack and a spell. And this synergizes with her Q because her Q basically is a straight line skill shot that you can do with your auto attacks. You can auto attack Q or Q auto attack and get it basically instantly.
Oh, Sylas is already invading the Amumu over here. Gets him down to quarter HP, and Amumu has to flash over the wall to get out. Now, we haven't talked about Flash either, so I believe everyone except for the Gwen in this game, and Gwen's Central Michigan's top laner, everyone has Flash. It's a very... Oh,
Okay,
Wombat Baby soloing Grey Swag here in the mid lane. Beautiful kill. Great start. As I was saying, Flash is a very long cooldown ability that every character in this lobby has right now that just gives you a little dash, and you can do it over a wall. And it's typically used to either secure a kill or escape, but it's a very long cooldown. It takes like, what, 3-4 minutes to get it back?
I believe it's actually 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. It's changed a little bit over the
It
years.
depends on if you bring in something like, it's a rune.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
The
about.
Summoner Spell Haste. And then it drops down to like 250.
Oh, Ornn getting a solo match with this Gwen up here. They're both really low. Ornn is low on mana, though. I don't know if he has enough to do any more abilities, whereas Gwen has full mana. And Amumu is here to gank for for the Gwyn, but does Orm over here know? It's going to be so hard to distinguish between Orn
and Orm.
So Orn is the name of the champion. Orm is the name of the player.
While we were talking about top lane, actually, Silas goes to mid lane, ganks, and kills Lysandra for a second time.
Wow. Okay, so mid lane might just already kind of be over. Lysandra's going to need to look elsewhere on the map to really make anything happen, because
Lysandra here is going to have to play for team fights because their lane is basically over. Look at that damage going off. Amumu tries hooking, does not connect to anything.
Yep, Amumu missing the stun onto Wombat Baby. Wombat Baby just dominating this mid lane. And once again, Ball State taking full priority of the mid lane and the bot lane right now, giving us all the pressure we need to take objectives around that side of the map. Oh, this bot laner, like 1 HP. Even lower, actually 1 HP. The flash to Senna gets the kill after flashing. And now it is just the support Pantheon locked under here. Now the reason I don't like Pantheon is, or Pantheon support specifically, I feel like he relies on getting an early, like, pre-level 6 kill or two to really win lane. And if he doesn't get it, he's barely a champion. And he is not getting it. He's just getting bullied under this tower.
Ooh, Chumpslug needs to back away. Chumpslug dies from the empowered, or not even an empowered Q on the Pantheon. It was just a normal charged up Q.
A charged Q snipe from the Pantheon, throwing that spear and finishing him off. That's honest. He heard me and he's like, okay, I'm going to get those pre-level 6 kills.
That tether was quite daring.
So champions do not get their ultimate until they're level 6. Top lane has hit 6 at this point. Mid lane has hit level 6 at this point. But jungle and all bot laners are not level 6.
There's not much going on, honestly. Ari's still winning the mid lane. Karma's returning back to bot lane. Send him back. Bought a serrated Dirk. That Cinna's going to be putting out a lot of damage when it comes to these early game objective fights. Infernal Drake is up. Silence is clearing his bot side. He might posture to get that Scuttle Crab. Ari getting a kill in the mid lane.
Another solo kill in the mid lane. Wombat Baby just doing what he does every single game. Just absolutely dominating the opponent mid laner.
That's why he's the GOAT.
We have been calling him the GOAT around here, and he keeps living up to it.
This Gwyn is trying to fight this.
Oh,
that was close.
So early game, I do think Gwyn is quite. Oh, fighting the bot lane. Amumu ganking and hitting a stun onto the Karma, but not gets absolutely wiped out by the Silas. Pantheon gets stunned and is able to get away on half HP.
Burns his flash while doing so.
Yeah, bot lane has no flash up, and whenever you have no flash up, it's a lot easier for you to get ganked, so I expect to see this Silas. When I say gank, that's when the jungler comes in and kind of helps them out.
On a broader sense, Central Michigan actually has no flashes.
Yeah,
There's nothing they can do for a surprise engage on Ball State. I think if this Silas backs, or it looks like he's trying to invade on the top side, if he can get that over with, he might be able to pressure both objectives.
Now, you may be thinking our top laner is... it does look like he's losing lane right now. He is down 1 kill. He's down 30 CS. CS is what it's creep score. And we call those little minions on your screen that are kind of in the... Oh, fight breaks out in the jungle. Silas getting killed, just Wombo CC'd by the Lysandra and the Amumu, but Wombat Baby coming in to try to avenge his fallen friend. Not quite able to do it. But still
forcing that Lysandra to back away.
Yeah.
Wombat Baby's going to push out this mid wave, hopefully crash under tower and get a back off.
If you do want to try to kind of get a easy judge of who's winning, look at the gold up top. So the kills are in the middle of the graphic up top. And the
Ari kills Lysandra under her tower.
I don't even have time to talk. He's just killing him on repeat. The gold is on either side of those kills. The left side is Ball State's gold. The right side is Central Michigan's gold. Whoever has more gold is typically winning. So if you look, Ball State has about a 3,000 gold lead right now. That's a pretty substantial gold lead. It doesn't mean the game's over by any means, but it's pretty big. They're definitely in the lead and winning right now.
Anybody can make mistakes, and that's the main theme of League of Legends solo queue, is that the enemy team will make the same mistakes your team does.
Pretty much whoever makes the least mistakes wins.
Pantheon engaging on this Karma. Misfortune puts out her E. Karma Tether prevents the Pantheon from engaging further. He throws out a spear, does not hit anything. Senna's able to do some damage, but she's out of mana.
And Pantheon opted to go for his tier 2 boots first item instead of going for some damage. So
Amumu's coming in for a gank. Spotted on a ward. No flash to, or he does have flash to surprise the gank, or surprise engage.
I don't think he...
Misfortune and Pantheon would have no way to respond.
Yeah, they would not have
Pantheon
the
is
damage.
about to die. I do not know why he went back in.
Just a mistake. Let's just leave it at that. Bit of a mistake there from the Pantheon.
If you want to call it that.
Getting finished off. This Senna is getting strong very quickly. 2-0 already. They already, how many tower plates have they gotten? Like 3? Are they going to take out this Misfortune? She is stunned in place for what seems like an eternity, getting down to a quarter HP. Amumu does take Dragon, giving his team a little extra damage. And they are looking to gank this bot lane. I don't think Ball State knows that this Lyssandra's here.
Lysandra E'd under towers. There's not really much you can do.
Oh,
Silas gets killed.
The Silas was looking for a tower dive, did not expect the Lysandra to roam over. So Ball State does drop a member right there, but Wombat Baby might be able to respond by taking a tower here. I do believe they have 3 Void Grubs, and as I said, every Void Grub gives you bonus damage to the tower, so you can take it faster.
All Lysandra really will be able to do in this game is CC, because she is down about 60 CS, a tower now, and 2 kills.
Ornn looking to fight the Gwen again. I don't think he can ever win this fight right now. He needs items if he's ever going to think about winning this fight. Now, Ornn, as I was saying earlier, Ornn might look like he's losing. However, Ornn is a late game scaling just CC champion. He wants to knock up enemies, make it hard for them to move around, and he can upgrade items later in the game. He can upgrade his teammates' items. So they will get free stats, free bonus damage, free cooldown reduction, just for Ornn existing in the game. He's not really trying to solo carry top lane.
On top of that, Ornn gets bonus passive armor and MR based off of how much he already has.
Yeah, so he is by far the tankiest character in the game once he has items. There's not really any champion that can compete with how tanky Ornn can get.
Ari putting out damage onto this Gwen under her tower. Bot lane's also crashing into Ball State's blue side. We'll see how this plays out.
Pantheon might be looking to get a stun for a kill here, except he's going to be the one getting stunned. Going to get poked a little bit by Ball State, not losing too much health though. And Lyssandra's ganking top along with Silas here. We're about to see an all-out 2v2 brawl in the top lane. Silas hitting his stun on Lysandra, absolutely exploding her. Now they're going on to the Amumu. Can they finish him off? They do. Now they're going to tower dive the Gwen. Can they kill him? And wow. They are both nearly full health, killing all 3.
Well, Silas there took Lysandra's ultimate, killed the Lysandra, then used it on Amumu, cleaned up the Amumu while Wombat Baby was focusing the Gwen that was already low from trading previously beforehand. That was a perfectly well executed gank and dive on Ball State's side.
And now we're taking both top and bot tower to get even more gold and more access into the enemy side of the map.
With the new support item system, you're allowed to build 5 different versions of the support item. Senna here went Blood Song, which after using an ability and auto-attacking, increases the amount of damage that the enemy takes from any source for a certain amount of time.
Well, Lysandra looking to come down and gank this bot lane. She does have a dash to get over this wall. She might look to ult somebody. She ults our Karma, and Karma's just going to die while stunned. Ornn popping the ultimate, hitting nobody with it, and Ball State's just going to have to back out. Good trade for Central Michigan right here. And you know, I will say, Ball State is definitely in the lead right here. They're up about 6,000 gold. That's quite a bit. However, I do think they're so far doing the best any team has done against Ball State so far.
They're up about 7,000.
We at 7,000 now? I'm doing quick maths.
It's fine.
But yeah, I do think this team's doing the best that we've seen any team do against Ball State. However, their team comp does not scale as well as Ball State's does. The later this game goes, I think Ball State's just going to keep getting stronger and stronger.
Pantheon is not exactly the carry here, and he's the one that's getting the most kills. If Gwen can keep this lead, or well, not this lead, but like this pressure up and allow Central Michigan to really just play the game, it might be a different outcome. But as of right now, the mid lane is way too far behind. Wombat Baby already has 10 stacks on Dark Seal boots and 2 built items.
Oh my
Lysandra
gosh.
only has 1 built item. Amumu doesn't have 1 while Silas has a rocket belt.
And he mentioned a Dark Seal. So a Dark Seal, whenever you buy it, you get stacks as you get kills and assists. 10 stacks is the maximum amount of stacks, and every stack gives you more damage. So every kill Wombat Baby's getting here is just giving him more and more damage for the next fight. He can upgrade that into a Magi's, which can stack even further and give even more damage. He hasn't had it quite yet. As a fight breaks out in the mid lane, Karma is stunned twice, but it's just they don't have the damage to finish her off. Karma turns around, and with the help of Silas and Senna, finishes off the Amumu.
That was rather fast. The Amumu very much overcommitted when his bot lane was behind tower.
In Central Michigan, as we said at the start, their whole team comp relies on this Misfortune or the Gwen dealing all the damage, where the rest of the team is stunning. And they just do not have the damage right now to really act on any of these stuns that are happening.
Ornn is here, hopefully the posture to dive this tower.
Oh, Wombat Baby diving under tower, hits a charm and kills, and gets a second kill. They need to start target banning this Ahri. They need to do 5 bans against Wombat Baby. I don't know.
Honestly, knowing Wombat Baby, he could carry on any champion here.
I don't know if banning 5 of his champions would be enough, but you might need to try
I think Wombat Baby could pick a Nibia and still be 8-0-2. That's just how much I believe. Karma doing some poke. Pantheon R's in, hoping to look for this Senna. Senna shrouds.
He's in range for the stun, but he knows he has no follow-up, so he's just not going to go for the stun. And they're just going to have to back up.
Karma still poking out. There's not much they can do to respond. Silas comes in with the Amumu R. Focuses the Pantheon, gets the kill on Misfortune. Amumu goes in. R's doesn't really get much from it. Gets a kill from the Karma, but still dies in the process, allowing Ball State to push in this mid wave. Ornn ults, hoping to look for this Lissandra kill. Quokka is there to respond, and Wombat Baby cleans it up. They're pushing in this mid wave, hoping to get an inhibitor. Gwen is there to respond, but I don't know if there's much she can do with an Ornn and a Senna. Senna's putting out a lot of damage right now with Umbral Glaive and a Blood Song. Going in on the Senna, Ornn W's, throws out a Q, and saving his E to get away.
They're going to have to back up. This Misfortune could get 2 big kills right here.
Walks away.
They have the Pantheon for the stun. Pantheon, honestly, I would just fight this. I think they should just keep going and fight if Central Michigan wants a chance. They need these shutdowns. 3 members of Ball State have large shutdown kills. If you get too much of a lead, the game will give you shutdown gold, so whoever kills you gets a lot of extra gold. And I think Central Michigan should have just really chased those kills.
You know, I think it might be over. We're 13k gold up.
I agree. It's probably over. I think that was their chance. They needed to get those 3 kills right there. Oh, Pantheon trying to go in 1v3. I don't know what he's thinking. There's no way he wins this fight.
Senna
Absolutely.
ults the wrong way.
Senna, even after ulting the wrong direction, they still just dominate the Pantheon. He may have... Does he have the most gold on his team? I think he does.
It would appear so.
He may have the most gold, but he cannot 1v3 like that. Kind of a questionable decision right there.
This Gwen needs to be playing with her team more. She's really the main damage output, especially against this Ornn.
But she is also the only one that can stop them from being split pushed. Gwen in not a fun situation where you're the only damage and you have to like defend your side lanes. You kind of have to be everywhere at once, and that's a little hard to do.
Gwen is pushing out this top lane. Ornn is going to match. The Sandra dies from Wombat Baby. Are we surprised? We are not.
I'm not anymore.
Wombat Baby at 24 stacks on his Medjai's Soul Stealer. Senna engaging. Gets poke out onto the
Silas
Misfortune.
stealing Pantheon
going
ultimate.
over the wall.
Silas Pantheon ulting in, gonna dive onto, and didn't really need to ult. His team already had the kills.
That might be game.
That
They have
very
a mid
well,
wave coming in.
if that's not game, Ball State will likely back out and go grab that Herald. Although Baron is spawning here in a minute and a half, so they may not have time to take the Herald. Herald disappears once Baron spawns.
They will triple inhib with Ornn pushing out this top wave. I think they can just go in on this Lissandra and just instantly kill her. She ease away. Gwen ease in with the Q. Tethered, but is immune because of her W. I don't think there's room to really triple inhib here now.
Ornn has 1 item, and not a single member of Central Michigan can really deal damage to him anymore. It's not looking bright. I don't see a route for Central Michigan to pull out any comeback victory here. I believe they are going to need to be just thinking about the next game right here. And primarily, they need to be thinking about that mid lane, because they can't be losing mid lane that early, that quickly. As Senna takes out the Pantheon, she's getting dived on by Gwen, but I don't think Gwen has the damage to finish her off. She's going to get chased down by the Senna and Karma and just have to run away.
Senna here has over 90 stacks before minute 20. That's truly an astronomical number, especially for a Senna.
And as we mentioned earlier, her stacks give her bonus damage, bonus attack speed, and I think bonus range also. So those stacks are a lot. Give her a lot of stacks.
Wombat Baby TP's in, hoping to get this top tower. They did not have a wave. Now they do. They'll get in around 3 hits if they're... Oh, well, that was 2. Going for this inhib. Ultimate's in.
Knocks up the Pantheon. I think Silas just stunned everybody with an Amumu ultimate he stole.
This is simply Wombat Baby's world, and Central Michigan is living in it, and he does not want them there anymore.
We're going to see some drifting with the Herald here. They did take it, hitting a Sif trick around.
I don't even know what he is.
You're just drifting around. You're supposed to hit towers with that, but they know they have the towers anyway. Oh, hops back in the Herald, going to turn around, run back towards his base. He wants to go home. He's tired.
He needs a little nappy.
Where is he?
This is over. I mean, all they have to do is hit this Nexus, but they do so much damage. There's not really a lot that... Oh, well, never mind. I jinxed, but they end the game anyways.
They were trying to pad their stats, get a few extra kills, but two of them died during that. Your KDA, kills, death, and assists, just went down because of that. Wow.
Wombat Baby was my GOAT until he threw away his perfect game.
Yeah, kind of just throwing that perfect game down the drain. Well, the thing is, does it look better if you look at your KDA? Does it look better for it to say perfect or for it to be like an 18 KDA or something like that? Which one looks better?
I think having 0 deaths says more about the player than 1.
Okay, I'm kind of of the mind
Come
that
on,
bigger numbers better.
You think bigger number better?
I think bigger number better. I like that his KD is probably like what 12 or something throughout the whole league.
Are you a KD player?
No. Maybe.
Maybe. I mean,
No.
you do play champs that do brawl really well.
We are going to shoot to a quick interview commercial while we're in between games, and we will be back afterwards.
Pops the Jet as well, gets back through using the lifesteal, gets a third, gets the fourth.
This season, I think our team's pretty good and well prepared as well.
I think our team's really good. I think we've improved a lot. We're like, 2 weeks in? We've already improved a good amount, so my expectations are high.
Yeah, I think we're gonna play pretty good, but we need more practice, like a team.
And pick up the pollen, and we're gonna get back and win.
So how'd you get the idea for your game event?
So we had an account called Chow Dog, like, I don't even know, it was a Smurf account in like season 6 maybe. And I don't know, some vlog was similar, and I thought it was funny at the time.
So Polka is like an animal, but living in Australia, and T1 is my favorite team.
So I'm half Australian, and my brothers, their league names were Koala Rampage and Oversized Joey, so their favorite Australian animals. So I picked mine, the Wombat, and since I was the youngest in the family, that's how Wombat Baby was born.
Boat Lick is like a lot of money, and I do want a lot of money.
My name was X Sniping Panda X7.
Okay.
It got reported, then I became Slick Fallen. Friends started calling me Silk Flannel.
If you had to pick one character to fight in a 1v1, and you gotta win it, who do you pick?
I'm picking Poppy. I hate that character. She's like...
And you
tiny.
definitely win?
Actually, wait, no, I might not win. Because they can just like disappear and like reappear wherever they want.
Yumi, easily. Just a little cat, you know, like what is she gonna do to me? I can just like punt her or something, you know, it can't be that hard. Yumi, I guess? She's a cat? I don't know, I'd literally just punt her, literally.
Maybe Sad.
All right, what's that?
He looks like pretty macho, like a real man. So I think I want to beat him.
I think I could take on anyone.
I like that. Good mindset to have.
Yeah.
Do you have any pre-match rituals or anything you do before a game?
Probably I listen to some music to calm down my mind.
Don't do any like huge stretches or music or anything like that.
Not really. I do like talking to my teammates a bit, just to get comfortable.
Okay, so something I've been doing before our scrims recently is I've been barking, just like, I don't know, to get everyone hyped, because we're a little quiet.
Always get Starbucks for a game. Always get the ice blonde vanilla latte, breve, with vanilla sweet cream cold foam.
Dang, Chumslog really is just embodying not liking cats, I guess. He's picking on Yumi, wanting to punt her.
He even demonstrated how much he wanted to.
Yeah, he barks before the stream. He's just a real dog, I guess.
He's got that dog in him.
It's a chum dog.
Chum dog?
Chum dog.
Maybe we can convince him to change his gamer tag to that.
I think he should. I also shout out to the guy who reported Silk Flannel's old account name X Sniping Panda.
How is that even bannable?
I don't know how your account gets in trouble for that name. That's not. I feel like there's 1,000 middle schoolers out there, probably tens of thousands, that have like Sniping Bandit or XX Sniper or something.
FaZe, something like that.
Yeah, like that's such a normal name. Shout out to whoever got mad enough at him in their game just to report his name. You guarantee they were not mad at the name. They were just mad that he like had a bad game or something.
Silk Flannel's definitely an improvement, though.
Yeah, no, it's a better name. Probably good that he doesn't have that other name
Imagine
anymore.
if
It's
we
more
were up
memorable.
here saying XX Sniping Panda for the double kill.
X Sniping Panda hitting a double. Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well as Silk Flannel. But yeah, those are just some interviews from our players. Thank you for everyone, all the players, for sitting down and doing that. And right now, if you were Central Michigan, what would you be thinking that needs to change going into this next game?
Do you want my honesty?
Yes.
Change your mid laner.
Just
Get a new player.
That's a little rough. I think he just needs to play something that can fight back. Lissandra doesn't have.
Yeah, but Lissandra's safe. You can just like turn around and E, and you still lost.
Lissandra is supposed to be safe. Clearly, there's a bit of a. Wombat Baby's just too crazy.
Excuse my rudeness, but I mean, you're playing like the safest mage character.
Wombat Baby's just a little too good.
Wombat Baby R's in and you don't press W.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me.
It's a little rough. Something needs to change up in the mid lane for sure. I think that game would have been very winnable if mid lane wasn't losing like 30 seconds into the game. Because if you have control of mid lane, you kind of have priority over being able to go anywhere on the map you want, because you know that Wombat Baby will come back you up. The jungler can just roam into the enemy jungle knowing that Wombat Baby will back him up if he gets into trouble.
Amumu also needs to be tracking this Sylas better. There was a lot of times where the Amumu was caught out by a Sylas and just did not expect him to be there.
I will defend him a little on that. Tracking a Sylas is rough because Sylas's jungle clear is really bad, so he doesn't do a standard jungle clear. He moves around. He takes way different routes than any other champion in the game. He plays way more aggressively. And right off the bat, once again, we are seeing that Tristana ban. They do not want Chumslog dropping another 23 kills on Tristana.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I really wonder why. And there's the standard Maokai ban, broken champion. I do not want to see him in any of these games. Good ban.
Sylas ban coming out. They are terrified of that Sylas.
Yeah, well, clearly their picks all have great ultimates to steal, and having Sylas there to steal it is a little rough, so getting him off the map, that makes a lot of sense.
Ball State banning out this Karma not to give Central Michigan the first pick on her.
Yeah, Karma just too good of a flex pick. Banning away our junglers Nidalee. Please, let us see the Nidalee. I want to see it so badly.
We're on red side, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we are. Ball State's on red side. That's the right side of your screen. And Central Michigan is on the left side, blue side.
See a Varus coming out. We might see a Varus Ashe, Varus Melio.
Standard Varus pick. Probably the best ADC in the game at the moment. You can build him multiple different ways. Very versatile. And a relatively safe ADC because you can stand pretty far back and farm if you need to.
It's getting nerfed next patch, actually.
Yeah, I'm so glad. He's getting nerfed. Callista, who we haven't gotten to see yet. Maybe we'll see her picked here. Callista's also getting nerfed. Zeri?
Please pick Zeri.
Do it.
I love that character.
Okay,
so we might be seeing a Zeri Yume.
So Zeri, the old last season and the season before that, just the competitive play monster, just seen in every game, dominating every game. Nerfed into oblivion since then. You don't see her too often anymore.
Until they remade her kit for the 3rd time.
Yeah, until they recently buffed her again. I still haven't...
Stealing the Ornn away.
Oh, you taking Ornn from Orm? That's kind of messed up.
But we have a Zeri Pike. That's definitely a...
It's interesting.
It's an interesting kill lane. Zeri doesn't really deal too much damage until level 4.
Kind of. Something makes me think that Chumslog just wants to have a little fun.
I think he's feeling a little silly.
Wow.
Varus Alistar, they want to respond with the counter engage.
So we are seeing so far a very another pretty late game oriented team comp on the side of Central Michigan right here. They have 2 tanks that are probably the 2 tankiest characters in the game on the same team to defend their Varus over here. What support? Are we picking support right here? Oh wait, no, we already have a support.
No, we're picking top lane. Camille top lane.
Camille top. Or maybe we're doing real weird picks. Maybe we got like Camille jungle or something going on.
It could be a Zeri top. Camille mid, I guess. I don't know. We're stretching.
This Ball State team really likes to surprise us with where they play their champions. They like to play around sometimes. So we can take a guess at where these champions are going based on where they normally go, but
I think this is just spot support top. I don't think they're making it complicated.
I agree.
Camille's very good into Ornn.
They're banning away the Vi. They do not want anyone to be able to lock down their Zeri. Vi can just knock up and stun someone very easily.
Point and click.
Yep.
Now, when I say that, that means that there's not really any way to dodge it.
Yeah, so there's skill shots and there's point and click abilities in the game. Skill shots, you actually have to aim and make sure you hit it. Point and click, you just click on the person and the ability will hit them. We're banning the Lilia away. They do not want to see a Lilia in the jungle.
No, speaking of weird picks, we might see the Pike jungle come back.
There we go. They're banning out Wombat Baby's Orianna. Are they not? Oh, wait, no, we banned Orianna. My bad. Wombat Baby does not want to play against the Orianna. No, I expect to see a target ban against Wombat Baby right here.
Maybe
Probably
on
the
Ari.
Ari. Yeah, I've been...
Zinj. Okay. We're going to be seeing an Ari pick.
I mentioned earlier,
Most likely.
it wouldn't be surprising to me if they did 5 bans against Wombat Baby, but instead they did 0.
They did 4 bans against Boatlick, actually.
Yeah. And Boatlick can play anything.
Really?
So I don't know if those bans are too helpful. Boatlick is... I mean, he just played Silas Jungle in competitive, so he can play just about anything. And he pulls out the Rengar. Rengar, not
Disgusting champion.
Not a typical competitive pick. Normally a solo queue champion. However, probably the most disgusting damage of any jungler in the game. You might see some very fun one-shots going on. Can we see like an Ivern top or something just for this Rengar? Or an Ivern mid? I want to see it so bad.
That'd be hard to pull off, but I can.
So I've mentioned it before, but Rengar can jump out of bushes. Like if he's in a bush, he can leap to someone that's quite a far away.
That's a Gwyn jungle.
Is it?
It is Ornn top.
Or it's Gwyn mid. It could be Gwyn mid.
We're going to be seeing a Gwyn mid here. Or not Gwyn mid, a mid lane pick here.
We'll see.
I expect it to be something.
They're picking a jungler or a mid laner here.
Might be AD. Okay, it's a Gwyn mid.
Yeah, it's a Gwyn mid, a Zac. Wow. They're kind of doing the same thing they did last game. They're putting all of their hopes on this Varus.
Wombat Baby Yone? Please pick Yone.
It could be Yone top. Well, no, there's no Camille mid. They're not going to do Camille mid. So, yeah. What if they do Camille jungle?
Echo?
Yeah, okay. So that's
It's a Camille top, Zeri Pike bot, Rengar jungle, Echo mid.
I wanted something weird. I wanted Rengar top, Camille jungle, like Echo bot or something weird like that. But yeah, it is pretty standard. Nothing we said, or none of the weird options that I threw out there are happening. But Camille in the top lane, Rengar in the jungle, Echo in the mid lane, Zeri in the ADC role, and Pike support.
ADC stands for attack, damage, carry. They're typically the ones that deal the most damage late game.
So we are seeing 3 of just the beefiest tanks in the game over on the side of Central Michigan. And really, there's no one who can shred them on Ball State side. If they manage to take this late game,
who's the top laner?
I mean, there's Camille. She has that Q, but like outside of that, what's gonna melt them? Like Zeri?
I mean, once she gets enough items, maybe.
Maybe late in the game, but it's like they don't have a ton of damage to take down 3 of just the tankiest champions in the game. So,
is that an Ornn mid?
Wait.
It might be. It is.
What?
Okay.
I've never seen this pick in my entire life.
Well, it makes sense because you don't necessarily want the Ornn going into the Camille. That's basically automatically a lost lane. Going into Camille is definitely a much more favorable matchup on Central Michigan's part. But
I'm
that
just
means
thinking,
Echo is going into the Ornn, and Echo will be allowed to free farm.
Yeah.
Most likely free roam.
Yeah, that's the problem. They need to not let Wombat Baby free roam. That's how these teams are losing games. And
that's why top lane's the island.
And I don't think Ornn can. Ornn might not lose lane. He might not die at all because he's very tanky. It's gonna be hard for Echo to kill him, but he can't really clear the wave and shove it out at all. So Wombat Baby is just gonna have full control of mid lane and be able to roam wherever he pleases.
I think it might be better for Gwen to go mid here because of the fact that her Q has an execute on low health minions. You can counteract the Echo's push by simply going up and queuing the wave.
I fully agree, and I feel like Ornn can more. Ornn doesn't win against Camille, but he can survive lane. That's all he's got to do. Just
That's what he has to do.
Just survive lane, and
as long as he gets his levels, he gets utility.
But Ball State opting for a very aggressive comp, very, very high burst damage. So they're not going to be chunking tanks too hard if these tanks get items, but they are going to be exploding this Varus if they can get onto him. And
that
also
Rengar,
this Gwen.
The Rengar is terrifying here.
Yeah, if this Rengar is able to get on Varus, then I don't think Central Michigan can play the game.
Rengar is a hydrogen bomb, and Varus is a coughing baby.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Rengar is kind of a one-shot machine. So if he gets any form of lead at all, if he doesn't even have to have a lead. If he gets like 2 items, even if he's behind.
He doesn't even need items. Let's be real. He can just gank.
He is absurdly strong right now.
Especially with his passive.
And Varus is like all the damage on Central Michigan. Gwen is there. Gwen can be damage.
But she has to put herself in the front line to be allowed to deal with this damage.
She's got to be in the front line. She's got to be in front of everybody.
A ways back, especially with this WQ interaction.
I do wonder what build Varus is going to go here. Now, Ball State's pretty squishy, so he could go lethality.
He might go lethality. I expect to see a lethality pick here.
So Varus has 2 options of builds he can really go. He has lethality, which is like a high burst damage. He's going to fire an arrow that's very far range and just do a ton of damage with one ability. Or he has an on-hit build, which he relies on his auto attack. So every character can auto attack. That's just, them punching or them firing their bow regularly. And that build is much better for like melting tanks.
If we're being silly, you can also go an AP build.
Yeah, there is an AP build which is similar to lethality. It's better against tanky people than lethality is, but I don't think he'll go that. There's not really any tanky members of Ball State, so I doubt we'll see an AP build.
I think we'll just see lethality and that'd be it.
Yeah, I agree. The draft is over, just waiting to hop into game. And I'm just trying to think. I like both team comps. If they were completely even teams, I would personally probably say Central Michigan's is better.
It depends on if they're allowed to shut down their damage.
Yeah, it really is. If the Varus can stay alive, they have the better team comp. The problem is, I don't know if Varus is going to be able to stay alive against this Ball State roster. And here we are, jumping into the game. Let's see if we see any early invades into the enemy jungle like Ball State typically likes to do. They are grouping like they're going to invade. I don't think they're seen out right there. Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. Why is he standing still there? Buddy, we're in game. Taken down to a quarter HP. Finished off by the Zeri, who did flash for it. I think Rengar also flashed. Not too happy that he flashed and still didn't get the kill. And they are just going to sit in this jungle, probably trying to look for a second kill. Rengar, absolutely disgusting level 1 because he has a dash and a damage ability, level 1. No other champion in the game has that.
They're looking to get this Alistar out again. I don't think they have enough damage to kill him, though.
Alistar, wondering if he wants to die a second time before the game even really starts. He's going to drop a ward over this pit, but they know he's going to go in there. They catch the Alistar. He's knocked. Pike's knocked up by the Alistar, but can he hit his hook? He's looking to hit the hook. Hooks the Alistar, pulls him back. Rengar is probably going to finish this. No, Wombat Baby finishes it.
Such a disastrous early game already.
Yeah, and Wombat Baby already 1-0-1. He might actually be able to kill the Ornn now.
Waka pulling the wave.
Pike looking to get another hook while this ADC on Central Michigan is by himself. Goes for the hook. Does he hit it? I think he will.
He
Hits
does.
the hook.
That is
Probably
a lot of damage coming out.
Get him down to a little under half HP before really the first wave has even showed up. Pike looking for another hook. They don't know who's in that bush. Alistar getting hooked for a third time this game already, dropping down to half HP also. This bot lane is just dominating right now.
This Alistar is making way too many mistakes when he doesn't have vision on any of the bushes against a Pike.
Yeah, bit of a Alistar problem right here. Looking for another hook. He needs to stop. Why does he? I don't like to make. I don't like to make.
Over.
I don't want to make fun of players, but
what are you doing?
That feels like he's intentionally dying. Like why is he knows there's a Pike in that bush? Why is he standing there waiting to get hooked over and over again?
Now they're looking to dive this bot lane. Rengar has his 4 passive up. Gets a root off on the Varus. Gets a hook on Pike.
Stunned by Pike. Rengar gonna go for a Q to get him low. Rengar taking tower shots. He's gonna die.
That's a fine trade. It's actually worth. Varus loses a lot of the wave here, so Zeri is able to get this lead on CS.
And gets a tower plate. If you see, there's the towers have multiple chunks of health. Every chunk that you get down, anybody near it gets a decent chunk of gold. So they've already destroyed one of those. That's a bit of a gold lead. They're about to destroy a second one already. Plus 63 gold for destroying that one. This Zeri is so rich so early. 3 kills, 2 tower plates.
My back into a component for experimental hexblade goes with the Berserker's Greaves and a control ward instead.
And a longsword. Or maybe I already had the longsword, I don't remember.
No, she got a longsword. Flash going off on the Ornn.
Now Zach, meanwhile, has just now finished his jungle clear. So, actually, he didn't even finish it. He's got 2 camps up still.
He invaded.
Ah, that makes sense.
Well, he knew the Rengar was bot side, especially because that dive took so long.
So he stole Rengar's top side. Gonna clear out his own top side, and Zach hasn't made really any mistakes yet, but he's gonna need to get out on this map and do something quick before this game just slips away, because it's already looking very bad for Central Michigan. Zeri is typically not very good in the early game. The fact that she has 3 kills right now is kind of unheard of. About to turn that into 4 kills as Pike hits another stun. He does take 2 tower shots, but he's going to get out on about a quarter HP. Meanwhile, Zeri chunking his Varus to half HP. Hooks the Alistar again.
This Alistar just loves being hooked. I guess that's why it's Valentine's Day.
He really just wants to interact with other people, get some love in the air. I don't know what I'm saying.
You're trying to make it work. Alistar splitting away from this Varus. They thought about going in on him. They do not have enough damage. Zeri's passive is disabled as of right now. She's going to get back up. Ornn dies in the mid lane.
Alistar catching out the Rengar. Rengar getting to 1 HP, but he survives, killing the Alistar, getting out. Not a single member of Ball State falling right there, despite everyone being low. And Zeri probably going to get another tower plate here, maybe even a kill on the Varus. Pike solo kills the Varus. Pike also one of the few carry supports in the game. Can run away, and every member of Ball State can pretty much carry the game at this point. The only member of Central Michigan that's really technically winning is this Gwen up in the top lane who has about a 14 CS lead, but no kill lead or anything like that.
You know, Aiden, I'm really surprised we don't see a live leak watermark in the top left.
Yeah, this does seem a little illegal what they're doing to these players. They're beating them pretty badly. This
is murder.
We might need to put a little blur on the screen.
Censor out some of the team fights. The only really win con here is this top lane, but there's not really much going on that this win can benefit off of. Zach hasn't ganked a single wave. There's just no activity on the map. This bot lane immediately losing, so therefore half of the team's damage are already cut.
Zach is looking to gank the mid lane right here. Once Zach hits level 4, his jump is a long enough range to really make his ganks good. So he has hit level 4 now. He needs to do something with that. But I think right now he's actually just running around trying to see if he has any camps to get, because Ball State is stealing everything from him.
Pyke roamed up to top lane, getting a kill on that Gwen, effectively shutting down her lead against this Camille.
And getting 3 grubs. And seeing how they already have taken so many tower plates, put so much damage onto these towers, 3 grubs for Ball State is going to be pretty much a death sentence for Central Michigan here. These towers are going to go down fast.
Wombat Baby getting a kill off on the Ornn while the Pyke is there with him. They're looking to re-engage on this Alistar. Zeri is coming up from the bot lane.
Gray Swag getting pulled in for the 19th time this game. He does have ultimate though, so he's not going to... Oh no, he doesn't. He's level 4. He's no ultimate, so he's not very tanky. Just getting deleted by Ball State's team.
No one dying on Ball State's side, and they steal the objective.
Oh, it's
over.
It's hard to get excited. This is just a beatdown.
And Zeri's able to crash this bot wave, preventing Varus from really getting any CS. This is horrible.
Chumslog already aiming to compete with his 23 kill game. The only problem is this game might end too quickly for him to do that.
They're wishing they could FF.
Gank onto the top lane. Gwen looking for the 1v2, might actually be able to win it. Gets Silk Flannel down to 1 HP. The Ignite finishes her off. Gwen winning the 1v2, but now back in another 1v2 as Pyke shows up. Misses the stun as Gwen dashes out. Zach finally ganking to help his team, and
forcing the Pyke flash.
Quokka flashing out to stay alive. Great play by the Gwen. The Gwen is really, so far, the standout Central Michigan player. The only one that's not really just hard struggling against this Ball State team.
Zeri might die here.
Can she jump the wall? Oh.
She's going to take them on a trip. The Bears flashed into the wall.
And they're just going to give up. They're not going to...
Wombat Baby is coming, and Quokka are coming to support this Zeri, allowing her to back.
Now, Zeri has no mana to really participate in this fight. Cannot use her abilities anymore, really. Is just going to opt to back while Pyke hits his 400th Q of the game.
Zeri getting the static shiv off, allowing her to push this Varus under tower faster. She will go mid, though.
Wombat Baby looking to dive onto this Varus, but he's on him. Can he finish him off? He has ult up. Ult doesn't quite hit, but he is able to kill Alistar with the help of Pyke. Finishes off the Varus. Can they take out Zach here? Zach might have passive up. Zach does not have his passive up. As Wombat Baby lives on 1, the minions might kill. Oh, the minions finishing him off right there.
There's no way to remove the aggro.
Nope. No way for him to heal up in the process. But he is a 6-1-6 Echo with 10 stacks on a Magi's.
Are we surprised?
I don't know what you're supposed to do about that anymore.
Zeri going mid, getting more tower plates. Killing this Ornn under tower. Are we surprised? No, we are not.
At this point in the game, it's like, it doesn't matter if Central Michigan plays perfect anymore. Ball State is just way too far ahead. Like, you just cannot mess up that much that early, or else this happens.
Quokka really looked at the Alistar here and just went womp womp, you know. Said, your game is over.
Finishing off the Gwen.
What can they do? Rengar's taking the enemy jungle. There's no way just to stop them.
Stealing the enemy red buff. Fight breaks out in the mid lane. They're trying to 3v1 Wombat Baby, but he is just so far ahead. 3 people's not enough.
He has a wisp and he has his passive, allowing him to get so much move speed that they can't really respond to him, even with an exhaust.
I don't know if 5 people's enough to take that Wombat Baby right now.
Probably not.
Wombat Baby's probably going to jump this wall and look for a quick pick onto somebody. Probably the Varus, because he's the only one squishy enough to really blow up fast enough. Hey, we were right about one thing. Varus is indeed going lethality, but I don't know if he's ever going to finish that first item.
He's not allowed to farm. His gold income is relatively static. There's nothing he can really do to get to anything right now with the way that Ball State is playing.
Stops the Alistar back with another hook. Now looking to dive this Varus. He is taunting. Oh, wait, no, he wasn't taunting. He was charging his hook. That'd be a little toxic.
Varus ultimate goes out trying to hit this Pike, but the Pike ease over the wall. It's a waste on Varus. There's nothing he can do. Zeri with Zach Shiv is going to clear his wave very fast, forcing Varus to farm under tower, which he might be uncomfortable with considering he's not going an on-hit build. This attack speed is relatively low. Ornn just sitting in the bot lane. Wholesome tank.
Wholesome tank. Ornn is the most wholesome of characters in the game. Just a dude that likes to build stuff and help people out. As this Varus gets dived in pretty much soloed by the Pike.
Quokka dodges the Zac engage with a recast of R.
So Pike's ultimate executes people and spreads out the gold from that execute among teammates that gave an assist on the kill. But also, whenever he gets a kill with his ult, it resets and he can use it again. So that is what he did there to escape. 2v2 kind of going on here. Pike's going to have to back because he's very low health. Rengar sitting in his ultimate invisibility, looking to maybe jump onto someone, but doesn't think he can quite survive it, so he's just going to opt to back out. And Ball State now, I think they are finishing off the grubs. Yes, they are. Or have they already gotten all the grubs?
They've gotten 5.
Huh, I wonder what happened to that 6th grub. They do have 5 grubs. Going to melt these towers.
Gwen and Alistar came and fought the Pike and the Rengar.
Must have managed to steal one of those. Oh, they didn't. Oh, yeah, they did steal one. Okay.
Wombat Bay getting a solo kill on the Alistar.
So, as I said earlier, Alistar is supposed to be one of the tankiest characters in the game, but he's so far behind. He just got one-tapped by an Echo, pretty much.
An Echo with Magi's and a Lich Bane and Sorcerer's Shoes, which gives him magic penetration. So if there was anything that this Alistar can do, there's not much he can do against that Echo, especially considering the fact he bought a cloth armor.
I think he just now bought that. He didn't have it for the last fight.
He did.
Did he?
He did.
I might be seeing things then, or misseeing things.
Oh.
Pike
going for a little bit of slow-mo here.
Another hook right here, just not gonna check the bush.
Okay. He might be dead here.
Oh, but the flash kill. 700 gold shutdown for the Alistar onto the Pike, but Rengar finishes off the Zac. Zeri just melting this Alistar, finishes him off. Zeri is just gonna clean up this fight, killing everybody. Might have to back out though, because Varus is doing quite a bit of damage. Gwen killing the Rengar. And now we have our Camille here in the enemy spawn trying to finish off this Varus as Gwen shuts down the Zeri. And if Central Michigan had any chance of winning this, that is what they need to do, except Wombat Baby
exists.
Wombat Baby exists and just makes that amazing Central Michigan play mean just quite a bit less, because they're able to take the kills back and kind of reshift the gold in the side of Ball State as they try to kill Zac again, who literally just respawned. Zac having to flash away.
Zac engaging with no means of damage from behind him, burning his flash, and was almost useless.
Yep, pretty kind of pointless. Pike hitting his just like 8,000th hook. It's hard to count. I think it's like 8,278.
He's gonna do it again.
Another one.
Oh!
Oh my gosh. This is a support, everyone. Typically, you don't see a support 1v4ing. And,
but I don't know. That was insane. I didn't think he was an execute threshold, but apparently he was.
I think he is just that far ahead. What's his level? His level's even. He's actually a level down on the Zac that he just exploded. And the Zac is building full armor too.
Forcing this Varus to back away. Can't respond to any push that Ball State makes.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a Pike just trap an enemy in their spawn for this long before.
He's just going to keep doing it.
They cannot leave their base at all. It's just not an option. It kind of feels like Ball State's just toying with them at this point. I feel like they could just go win the game if they wanted to.
Hook number?
Hook number 8,748. That might be less than I said last time.
It's more. Hitting it again. Wombat Baby going in for the kill. He has ultimate, so he is able to get away.
He doesn't want to get away, though. He's going to use that ult for damage. He's going to go back in. Watch it. Pups ult right here. No?
He doesn't need to. Pyke has enough damage.
Pyke exploding the Varus. Rengar trying to see if he can somehow jump
Going
over
back
that
over.
wall.
Wombat Baby getting a double stun off.
Pyke finally being finished off by the Ornn, but Wombat Baby trading and killing the Ornn. Now they're fighting this Zac under his own tower. I do believe Zac has passive up, though. So killing him here won't actually get them a kill. Zac passive lets him kind of regenerate for a second after dying.
Passive's not up.
It is, oh yeah, you're right. It is not up, so Zac will die if they kill him here. But they're going to have to run back to their spawn and heal up as this Zeri is going to secure the first Nexus of the game. 28 kills to 7.
I think the best play they could do here is push another mid wave, maybe? Everyone back. They won't be able to.
I think
but they
we
need to get this Baron. They need to get this Baron.
I do think that Wombat Baby needs to get at least 15 more kills.
Yeah?
Yeah, just before
He's
they
not
can
really that
end it.
effective right now, is he?
Pyke and Gwen having a dance-off in the top lane. Who's winning the dance-off? Gwen's putting the moves on the floor. And they decided
like
to
Ball
draw
State
and
won.
back out. Oh. I kind of thought Gwen killed someone there. Nope, Wombat Baby exploding the Gwen. Alistar saying, I want in on the dance battle, and them saying, no, it is a closed session. You have to leave.
If they ever wanted a free Baron, now's the time. I don't think they need it. I think they can just run an end.
Yeah, at this point, they can just kind of do whatever they want. Yeah, I mean...
Is that Baron or Rift Herald? It's Rift Herald, I
It's
think.
Rift Herald, yeah.
Wow.
We're not even at Baron timing yet.
It feels like we're so far into the game it should be.
Typically, you wouldn't see people doing this much damage until that long into the game.
Excuse me, Chad. Sorry. Rengar stealing away this blue buff from Echo.
Just not letting the Zac farm at all. Look at the CS difference. Zac has 74 to Rengar's 149. Bit of a gap.
Surprised? Look at it. Look at Zeri Varus.
Yeah, 178 to 91. And remember, every number there is at minimum. What are the cheapest minions? How much are they worth? 14
gold.
So at minimum, that's 14 more gold per one number they're up.
That adds up.
Yeah, and that's a minimum. Some of these minions are worth 21 gold. Some of them are worth 90. It just depends on what minion they kill.
Getting the Zac passive.
There's the Zac
out.
passive. He fires out some blobs, and if those make it back to the center, he does resurrect. So he's able to resurrect right there, but his passive is down now. If he dies again, he's actually dead. Ornn pops the ultimate and hits Zeri, but it's not going to mean anything, really. Zeri popping ultimate, Pyke killing everything, Wombat Baby killing everything. These fights are just beatdowns.
It's over. The game's over.
Yep, they're going to go in and end the game right here unless they decide to try to pad their stats a little more. I don't think they're going to do that, though. It's a little disrespectful if you do that. Don't just end the game when you can. So, yep, they're going to opt to end the game. And another very easy Ball State 2-0.
Are we surprised? I've said that so many times. Are we surprised?
I'm not.
Can we get a Wombat Baby interview?
We can get a someone interview. We'll see who decides they want to come talk to us. But wow. Pyke hitting the world record number of hooks in a single game. You don't need to fact check me on that, anyone.
Alistar just really wanted to hug him.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day after all.
Alistar's in that Valentine's mood, I guess. Wants to make friends, not enemies.
Pyke doesn't really care.
Yeah, Pyke. Canonically, Pyke is a psychopath who does not care, so that does make sense.
Well, that was a Ball State sweep. Easy.
Another easy Ball State sweep, making our record 6-0 here in the ESC. We're in so many leagues. I think it's the ESC.
It is.
Okay. We're in so many leagues that have so many different acronyms that I get them mixed up a little bit.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. Have you read through that list? So I work here as kind of a recruit, and I got to give people info on Ball State. And I tell them all the leagues that we play in, and I sound like a rap god over there when I'm going through the leagues. It's like NACE, NECCC, ACE, like Red Bull, whatever
ESC.
league. It's just a bunch of letters. Lots of different leagues.
They love
very
their
similar
acronyms, huh?
acronyms. Because it's always like something Champion League or Collegiate Champion League or College League. Or there's a lot of C's in there.
There's not much to say about that game. It was kind of a wash.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to look at it from an analytical perspective,
it's just a skill diff.
It's
mechanics and micro and macro.
They drafted a late game team comp, and then they lost within the first 2 minutes.
They also didn't have a lot of reliable damage outside of the 2 characters, and those 2 characters consistently got shut down. They shouldn't have gone that route the second game.
The Gwen was playing quite well and doing like what she could to try to scrap together what gold and what kills she could, but it just wasn't quite enough.
We're getting a Wombat Baby interview.
We have got the GOAT coming here for an interview.
From the GOAT.
What's up, guys?
Well, in our eyes.
Hello.
Hello.
In our eyes, you're the MVP.
I mean, I guess you could say that.
You got really jealous of that Tristana 23-kill game, huh?
Yeah, I did. I mean, so I went in today wanting to have a game of Echo at least because I've been spamming him in solo queue. He's like probably my favorite champ to play is Echo. So I kind of just like forced it game 2. And like, I mean, it worked. So
yeah,
I'm pretty happy about that.
I'd say it more than worked.
Yeah. I mean, the level 1 kill really helped. And then like, it's just Ornn. Like what, like, and then we had a few skirmishes early game. It's like, he can't do anything.
We were saying before that game started, we're like, they have to draft something that can make it to where you don't just have permanent mid prio all game, and then they put Ornn
mid, and it's
and we're just like, yeah, he can survive lane, I guess, but
yeah, and like he only died twice, I think, that game 3 to 4 times or something until like the very end. Like most of the kills came from like
in laning
Zach
phase.
And
I think he only died twice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like we were memeing it a little bit. Alistair died 3 times before 3 minutes.
He gave up. I'm pretty sure he gave up.
It's just GG go next.
We don't like to trash talk players, but the first 2 were like, okay, you made a mistake, you got hooked, whatever.
Yeah.
The third, I don't know if you were watching.
I wasn't watching bot lane.
The third time he got hooked in the bot lane,
he just stood still.
He stood still in front of a bush that he knew Pyke was in. He watched Pyke walk into the bush.
Okay, yeah, bro just wants the game to be over at that point.
I think he kind of was just a little angry at getting killed early.
Yeah, I mean, twice before laning phases are rough, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, overall, just a good game. It's kind of the same old story as the other games. I'll say, you might know your schedule a little better than we do. Are there any of the 5-0 teams coming up?
I know this Saturday is Northern Kentucky, and I think they're 4-1.
Okay.
So that'll be more of a test. It'll be the best team that we've played so far.
Yeah.
And I think after that might be Kent State. I'm not for sure.
Okay, yeah, and Kent State was
but
1-5-0.
I'm pretty sure they're pretty like in the middle of the schedule, and we're about that point. So I think it might be Kent State on Wednesday or Saturday next week.
Okay, so I mean, hey, you heard it here. If you want to see some more competitive games, tune in this Saturday and maybe next Wednesday. We're not 100% on that one, but next
Saturday for sure.
But Saturday, yeah, hopefully a much more competitive game than what we have been seeing.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice and all getting the wins. You know, get the record up and get the undefeated season again, like regular season, complete it this time.
Yeah.
But I mean, like at this point, it's just kind of.
Yeah. So I actually coined the idea of, I feel like they should have just banned 5 of your champions in the bans, but
I was actually surprised that they didn't ban like anything.
They banned 0.
They banned
of your
0 of my
champions.
champs both games, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
this is cool. I get to play exactly what I want both games, and it was
After that Ari game, we were kind of talking and thinking that the mid was definitely their worst player, and then the mid went to top and actually didn't do that bad.
No, I think it was the top laner was the same player. The mid laner just like subbed out. Pretty sure they subbed in one player the game 1, and then like their actual starting mid was game 2. I don't know why he wasn't there for the first game, but I guess he was just late or
that
something.
Makes sense.
So they subbed someone in for the first game. So
is that how
was
you
actually
won
that was their
first
support
game?
player.
Really?
The mid laner from game 1 was their support player.
So you tilted
he
him
was
bad
the
enough
Alistair.
to throw.
And then their support, I don't remember who their support game 1 was, but yeah, they subbed out and the mid laner came in.
What? Okay.
So yeah, maybe that's why he was so tilted, was after the first game.
Yeah, getting shoved onto support after that first game, I'd probably be in a bit of a dark place mentally myself.
I'm pretty sure he is their starting support, and they just had to fill in mid because like that's actually his main role. Like when he plays solo queue is mid, but on the team he plays support.
Interesting.
So
maybe you should swap to support.
Maybe me?
No, him.
Oh, him? I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, Alistair didn't look too great for him.
Now, I do want to ask. I know it was pretty much a perfect Silas game.
Oh, yeah.
have you guys been like practicing the Silas? Is that a pick that like he plays a lot? Or?
I think we played it in one scrim, but we were kind of just looking at the draft, and our jungler Lewis Boatlick kind of just said, "I want to play Silas here," so he just picked Silas.
They locked 3 champs that have like amazing ults for him to steal.
So it was. I mean, and we could flex it mid too, depending on who they picked mid. So and it was just a really good pick there. And then they picked Lysandra, thinking it was Silas mid. And then I'd pick Ari, and like that matchup is actually impossible. For
it is.
It is actually impossible.
That
she
makes
cannot.
sense.
I mean, like I chunked her to 100 HP at level 3, and she just couldn't farm for the rest of the game. So
that makes sense. You were kind of saying Lysandra's supposed to be safe, but
not against Ari.
I think if you just like play from like so far behind.
But like with Lysandra, it's hard to farm because her spells are so short range. Like her Q is really short range.
So you have to spend half your health just to farm.
To farm a wave, and like I landed a charm level 3. It just couldn't.
I mean, that's what we were talking about. There's lots of flex picks. They picked Lysandra as a counter to Sylas, and
Silas went jungle.
And Silas went jungle. That's a flex pick. That's why they're so important.
Yeah. So are you happy to have 2 perfect games when it's always been the AD carry of the jungle?
Not perfect. I did die twice, 1 in each game.
Okay, yeah, you trolled with.
Yeah, I died. The first game I shouldn't have died. Second game, I also shouldn't have died. I should not have went for Zach. Like
that first game, you were padding your KDA and threw it.
Yeah, I was like, guys, help me. And then our support, Minsu, Quokka, he didn't heal me, and I was like, dude, what the heck? But it is what it is. I'll take 1 death.
Well,
thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having me for the interview. It was nice.
I have a picture of you on my wall, and I pray to you every day I wake up.
Okay.
I'm gonna go now.
He's got the Valentine's Day spirit going on. Well, that is all for us. As you heard, we have a match here on Saturday. Hopefully, or supposed to be our most competitive game we've played yet.
I'm looking forward to it.
I believe we have some Overwatch tomorrow night at the same time, if you guys want to tune in for that. Oh, no, it's my bad. Tomorrow we have Call of Duty at 8, which I would highly recommend tuning into. I think that's our first Call of Duty stream ever.
8 Eastern.
And we also have a brand new Okay, not ever, I'm being told. It's one of our first Call of Duty streams. We do have a brand new caster. It'll be her first time caster. Love for you guys to show up and give her some love. And
that's all for today from us.
Yeah, that's all from us.
If you want a podcast, let us know.
Yeah, we'll sit here and it'll be the Stalling Before Draft podcast.
But shout out to production.
Shout out to production.
Thank you for making it work today.
And have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.